Everyone, I'm trying out a new audio equipment, video equipment, so give me a few minutes. We're going to try to do this live Q&A. Hopefully this comes out well. Everyone can see me, hear me, join me in doing our July Q&A. So, what's going on with us? We have invested in some new camera equipment, which is a little bit expensive, but I felt it was worth the investment to try and get some better sound and some better audio. The last Q&A we did, you guys said it wasn't really clear, really loud, and so hopefully this is a little bit better. I'm going to give everyone a little bit of time to come into the chat, and then we'll go ahead and start with the Q&A. You guys wrote in a lot of great questions. We're going to try to cover everything in less than an hour because, quite frankly, at 8 o'clock, my show, 90 Day Fiancé, is coming on, and I want to watch it. So, hi to everyone who's joining us. This is a new setup and new chat box, new everything, new camera equipment, new audio. So if you guys can hear me really loud and clear, just let me know. If you can't, then I'll try to adjust everything. So thanks for everyone joining us. We're going to start shortly. Hello to everyone joining the chat. Thanks for coming in. And again, thanks to all of you who have written in these great questions. So we're going to cover a few things. I hope you guys are doing well, staying healthy. It's July already, and I hope all you guys are staying COVID-free and taking care of yourselves. It's been kind of a rough years for everybody, so hope all you are doing really well. I've got some great questions and a lot of topics that I want to try and cover, but I'll start off with just letting you guys know that I'm doing okay. I'm back to work. So I'm not doing as many YouTube videos lately, but I am back to work, and Ann is doing well. She said to tell everybody hello, and she'll probably be joining us in the chat and watching the video as well. She's doing good as well. So I'm glad you guys can hear me good. Thanks, appreciate it. And if you have any questions that you'd like answered, as always, please write them in the chat. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. If I miss a question, just retype it, and I'll catch it as soon as possible. So thanks everyone for coming in. We're going to start with a few things. One thing I want to do a quick shout out to, there's a lady named Monica who lives in Slovakia, who is a college student as well as she works at the university, and she's looking for ladies who have been the victim of a romance scam who would like to share their story. If you'd like to share your story with her so she can incorporate it into a piece that she's doing for her college, her name is Monica. Just inbox us and we'll go ahead and put you in touch with her. She's looking for 3 ladies. She would prefer if you lived in Slovakia, Czech Republic, that whole area of Europe. And if you'd like to share your story, let us know and we'll put you in touch with her, and hopefully we can help her out with her doing her college project. And everything is legit. We checked it out. So again, if you'd like to share your story with a lady who is doing a college piece, and you live preferably in Slovakia, the Czech Republic, that whole area of Europe, inbox us and we'll put you in touch with her. And her name is Monica, so if she does message you. So thanks everyone. Glad you guys can hear us okay. And we'll start off with the first question someone wrote in asking, I'm talking to a man online whose photos have been stolen and used in scams. He said he is the real man and is aware his photos are stolen and is trying to get them removed. How do I know if I'm talking to the real man or another scammer? Why would a scammer take so much time to say they are real? So this happens quite often. And what scammers will do, they'll use popular stolen photos. So let's give an example. Stolen photo of Dr. Pinto. And you're talking to the man and he says, well, I'm the real Dr. Pinto, and I know my photos are stolen, and I'm going to have the scammer stop doing it. A lot of times scammers will pretend to be the real man. They'll say they know their photos are stolen, they're trying to get them removed, that they were the victim of these horrible scammers. They'll even actually talk badly about scammers and call them names and everything else. The main objective to them doing that is to try and convince you that they're real. They are the real man. You don't have to worry. I'll never scam you because I'm the real man. The majority of the time, it's not the real man. A lot of these photos that are stolen of people like Dr. Pinto, Stuart James, people like that, they're aware that their photos are stolen, but they're not online talking to people. And so if you're talking to somebody online and they're using a stolen photo and they tell you they're the real man, then most of the time they're not. It's just a scammer trying to convince you that, they're the real person. You don't have to worry. The best way to tell, really simple. And we use this all the time. Video chat. Tell them you want to video chat right now, and while you're on video, I'd like you to write my name on paper and hold it up next to your face. Scammers can't do that, and they'll come up with an excuse as to why they can't video chat with you. That's the best way. In all the years Ann and I have been doing this, we have never ever come across the real man in the photo looking for love online. So keep in mind, scammers steal photos of, you know, married men, men that are happily married with kids, retired generals. They steal photos of people that might have passed away. They steal photos of men that are gay. I mean, you see Jim Newman from the Village People, they use his photos all the time, and he's definitely not online looking for a female to romance. So just keep that in mind, and like I said, the easiest way, video chat, demand a video chat right away. A real person will video chat with you. A real person on video will write your name on paper, or they'll stand up and wave their right arm, or whatever you ask them to do, they'll do it on cue. A fake person, a scammer won't do that. So next question we have, I'm talking to a man online who asked me to go to WhatsApp. I did. Then his Facebook profile is gone. He said it was hacked and he's unable to get it back, so Facebook removed it for him. How many profiles are really hacked, and is he being honest? So we'll start off by saying no, he's probably not being honest. Okay, Facebook profiles, I mean, they do get hacked. It's not an everyday occurrence, and it's not something that happens a lot. Most times when Facebook profiles are hacked, it's because, you gave somebody your password or your email address, you let them log in. Typically, they're not hacked on a daily basis. If someone wants you to go to WhatsApp right away and you just met them, or they want you to go to Google Hangouts, and then all of a sudden their Facebook profile disappears, it's usually because the profile was removed for being a fake, and that's why they want you to go to these other apps so they can captivate you there just in case their profile is removed. People generally are not hacked every day. It's not an occurrence that happens often. And so if you're talking to somebody online, like we always say, and they ask you to go to Hangouts, they ask you to go to WhatsApp or Viber or Kik, or, what's your number, what's your email, so we can just email, it's always going to be a scammer. A real person will talk to you on their Facebook profile. If it's a real profile, they don't have to worry about it vanishing. So, it's a red flag when someone you just met wants you right away to go to a different app. So just keep that in mind when you're talking to someone online. I had a scammer video chat with me. He hadn't hidden his face at all. Weird. Becky, sometimes some scammers will just actually chat with you as themselves. They won't hide who they are, or they don't remember their cameras on. Anna and myself have called, fake profiles, and we video called them just out of the blue just to try and catch them. And sometimes they don't realize their camera's on and their face is right there. So it does happen sometimes. It really does. Guy online said Rebel stole his picture online and he's saying he's a military general. Yeah, it's a scammer. It doesn't happen that way, but they come up with some great excuses. So, hi to everyone who's joining us. Oh, hello from Thailand. Good to see you. Hi everybody. Hi Gwen. Hello from California. I'm right up above you in Oregon, so it's a really super hot day today. I'm roasting. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. The next question someone wrote in to us was, I've had a few people message me telling me a recovery company got some money back from them. Is there such a thing? And if so, which company is the best to go with wanting to recover your money from a scammer? So this is a huge, huge controversy. There was a lady last month who came to our page, and she said she got 60% of her money back from a scammer via a recovery company. And then she went on to say that we had scammed her. And so we had a few people investigate her for us because, of course, we've never scammed anyone in our lives. We never charge for our services. So come to find out, the lady didn't speak English very well. And what had happened is she actually gave money to a recovery company that claimed that they could get her money back from a scammer. And so what happens is let's start by saying there is no such thing as a recovery company who can get your money back from a scammer. If you send money to a scammer, it's gone. That money is going to be gone faster than your head can spin. When scammers get the money, they spend it, they take it, they grab it, it's gone. They can't get it back. They can't, recover it for you. There is no such thing as a recovery company. So if you're, talking to somebody online who says they've got their money back from a recovery company. They're being scammed. And this one lady in particular said she got her money back by paying 30% fee to get her money back. What had happened was the recovery company was a fake company. It was a fake website. Their Google Voice number was their business number. Of course, real businesses don't use Google Voice. Um, she ended up giving her bank information to a scammer, and the scammer deposited money in her bank. I think they deposited like $40,000. She took out the 15,000 she lost, or whatever she lost, and she sent the rest of the money forward. So essentially, she was used as a money mule, and she thinks she actually recovered money from a legit company. And what happened is she's committed wire fraud. She's allowed scammers to use her money, use her bank account to filter this money. So let's start by saying there is no recovery company that can get your money back. Once money is sent, it's gone. That's it. You can't get your money back. There is no special bounty recovery company, no special group that's going to get your money back. There is no special agents that are going to arrest your scammer for you. You know, the EFCC arrests scammers, but there's no company that's going to directly help you get your money back or help you get your scammer. It doesn't work that way. Anyone that says they've gotten their money back from a scammer through a recovery company is dealing with a scam. And they're dealing with, they've probably given their bank account information to a scammer, and the scammer is now using their bank account as wire fraud, as a money mule. So if you ever do come across somebody that says that, just block them. They're involved in a scam. They may think that the recovery company is real, but in reality, they are absolutely getting caught up with a scammer and getting themselves into trouble, because a lot of people that let scammers use their bank accounts end up getting in trouble for wire fraud, money laundering, all sorts of things. We've had victims here that have gotten arrested because they gave their scammer their bank account information. So don't do it. Don't, and that comes down to, don't ever give anybody your bank account information. Doesn't matter who they are. But definitely know there's no recovery company out there getting victims' money back. So please don't fall for that. So next question we have is, I just watched your YouTube video about female scammers. Do you think that there are many female scammers out there? And if so, what signs point to them being female when chatting online to think that it's a female scammer using a male profile? So there's a lot of female scammers out there. We've covered this quite a few times. The difference between the male scammer and a female scammer is a lot of the male scammers flaunt their money. They have real social media profiles, and they will show themselves holding the cash, holding jewelry, holding shoes, holding all this stuff, and they'll say, look at what I got, look what I got. The female scammers are a little bit more elusive, and they're actually a little bit smarter. See, females are smarter. They hide the fact that they scam. They don't flaunt the money. They don't say, oh, I'm a hustler. They don't do any of that, but they do it. There's probably just as many female scammers, if not more, than male scammers. But like I said, they're very, very discreet about what they do. They don't flaunt their wealth. And it's not uncommon to go on a male scammer's real profile and see him, flaunting money and touting about being a scammer. Females, no. A couple ways you can tell, and it's not always foolproof, but if you're talking to a guy online, you've met a nice man online, does he type super fast? Women do tend to type quicker. They tend to elaborate more on their lives. They tend to be more talkative about it. So if you're talking to a guy online who's, let's say, a 45-year-old oil rig worker, and he's typing super, super fast back to you, he's very emotional, he's telling you all this information and about his life, and and then he uses the word dearie. Many female scammers use the word dearie. So they could be pretending to be a male online, and they're using the word dearie. Oh, hello, dearie. It's good to meet you, dearie. That's usually a good sign that it's a female scammer. A lot of female scammers don't realize that most men don't call you dearie, and they use more of effeminate words. And so that's one way to look out. Another way, check the URL. I mean, we've gone over this before. A URL, if you're talking to a man whose name is Bob Smith, and his URL is Promise OUL, then you're talking to a female scammer named Promise. So that's another quick way. Also, look through the person's profile. If you're able to see a bunch of stuff without friending them, sometimes you can scroll down and see the real scammer's photo. Sometimes you'll see stuff like that's my wife, or, whatever. I mean, you'll see comments on there from the scammer's husband or boyfriend. You just have to look for the clues. And like we tell people, it's better to take 20 minutes of your day and look through a profile in great detail and see if it might be a scammer, rather than just instantly friend this person and waste your time talking to them thinking, oh, well, maybe they're real, maybe they're real. So that's kind of a few clues to look for, but most time it's just a matter of listening to what the person's telling you, what they're saying. I mean, whether it's a male scammer or a female scammer, if you think they're a scammer, you need to block them right away. So, hi to everyone who's just joining the chat. Hi to Alan. Hi everybody. I'm glad you guys can hear me better. I bought some new equipment, new mics, new camera. Just testing it out today, so hopefully in our future Q&As will be a little bit better in sound and quality. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask them in the chat. We got another question somebody asked. For me, the scammers and victims and lies are never ending, and I find it disheartening that people can be so cruel. How does this affect both of you? It's a fair question. Anna and myself have been doing this since 2013, 2014 for me. And, for us, we're both very caring and very nice people, but after a while, you kind of get a thicker skin because we do have a lot of people that will bash us in the inbox. You guys don't see 80% of the stuff we get in our inbox. Some people call us names, some people make fun of me, some people make fun of Ann, some people, people can be cruel. And then we hear stories about, victims who have killed themselves or who've lost, their whole life, whatever, who've attempted suicide. It's like anything. You have to become a little bit kind of immune to it. You feel for people, but you can't let it affect you every day. It's no different. I've had jobs where, my job entailed me finding people that had passed away and things like that. You can't let it affect you in a negative way. A lot of people are cruel. Scammers are cruel. The world can be cruel. So as far as affecting, I can't speak for Ann, but as far as myself, I just take it one day at a time, and I don't take anything too personal. We're here to help people, and there's good and bad in the world, and if we can, give some good out, then that's okay. But personally, I don't get too upset over things here because we're just helping people. We're not, taking anything in that's very personal. So, but yeah, it can affect you if you let it, unfortunately. So let's see, we got some questions. Let's see. I got scammed 2 years ago. Can the scammer still be in your data every once in a while because my phone's always acting so weird? I've changed everything, emails, numbers. I even got a different phone, but I always feel that someone is on my phone. That's my question. Thank you. Okay. All right, Elizabeth. You know, it depends. Okay, so you've gotten a new phone number. You've changed everything. If you're using the same device that you used to talk to your scammer originally, it's very possible he has a malware, device on there, malware virus. It's possible, but most times if you've changed your email, you've changed your phone number. If your phone acts weird or your laptop or computer, as I said, it's the same device that you've used when you were talking to your scammer, the best thing you can do, run something like Malwarebytes or Norton Virus Scan on your computer just to make sure, or your phone, just to make sure you don't have any viruses, any attachments, any rootkits, anything in your device that a scammer could track you with. Some scammers do sometimes put malware and things like that on your computer. I had a scammer years ago that actually put malware on my laptop, and it took me forever to clean it out, but it does happen. They do it. If you feel like your phone's acting weird or your device is acting weird, the best thing you can do is probably run an antivirus scan. Most scammers, and I'll not say all of them, but most scammers, if they don't get any more money from you and you're done with them, most of them move on. Now, there are some that stalk victims. We have a couple of our good friends that are being stalked by scammers. But for the most part, they move on. But like I said, run an antivirus on your phone. Most of them are free. You can go into Google Play Store or the Apple Store and look for antivirus software that's free. Run a scan just to make sure. But you should be okay. But like I said, if it's acting weird, run an antivirus scan. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't cost you anything most times. Uh, when I asked for my number, I gave them the dispatch number. Usually, I've given scammers numbers to Taco Bell and things like that when I know they're fake, just to blow them off. But that also comes down to, if you're talking to somebody online and you've never met them in person and you're just getting to know them, A lot of scammers using fake profiles will demand your phone number. They want your phone number right away. Don't give it to them. Just tell them, you can talk to me on the site, you can talk to me here, or we can't talk at all. And that's the best thing to do. A real person that wants to get to know you is not going to demand your phone number, your email address, your name, all this information right away. A real legit man or woman who wants to get to know you will get to know you through wherever you met them. They won't demand any of your personal information. So that's a huge red flag when they demand that right away. Next question we have, it's actually a pretty good one. Jessica, I'll grab yours real quick. Will scammers send gifts in the mail? Yes, they will. The flowers that are actually on this page were sent to Anne by a scammer. What scammers typically do is they will get Amazon gift cards from other victims. They will use those Amazon gift cards on Amazon to send someone like you some earrings, some jewelry, some flowers, some chocolates, a teddy bear. They do that because they're trying to build trust with you. They try to make you think, well, this person's not a scammer. They sent me $100 pair of earrings. So in reality, any gifts that you get from a scammer, from a fake profile, are going to be gifts that were bought either with a stolen credit card or B, a gift card that was given to them by another victim. But they absolutely do send stuff in the mail to victims. And they do that when they're trying to get a lot of money. So they'll spend a $50 gift card they got from another victim on Amazon and send you some jewelry if they think they can get $200 or $300 or $400 or $500 or $1,000 from you and build your trust through that way. So yeah, they do, absolutely. Can you find your scammer through an email address or an IP address? Usually not. Scammers use throwaway email addresses. They use Google. They use Gmail. So when you try to trace a Gmail, it comes back to Mountain View, California, which is the hub of where Google is. It's really hard. Even if you had their IP address, most scammers use internet cafes or they use like a scammer house where 30 people are in the same room using the same internet provider. So it's very hard to trace scammers through an email address or their IP address. Most of the email addresses they use are ones they just created just to scam you. It's not one that they have for years and years and years. They're just throwaway emails. So it's hard. And you can, I mean, there's been people who've tracked a scammer's location by their IP, but it doesn't do any good. Like you could have the scammer's home address, the police will do very little. So it's kind of unfortunate, but yeah, that's kind of the way it goes. Next question I had is, I know that I was scammed. Occasionally he still contacts me, but I block. How long before you start to get over this? My heart still occasionally questions if he's real. My brain knows it was a scam. Do you ever completely get over a romance scam? I don't know if seeing and knowing who the person really is would help, but I know that won't happen. So, scammers sometimes keep contacting victims. Let's say you were scammed a year ago, and maybe 6 or 7 months after the scam, you get an email from the scammer, or you get a message saying thinking of you, or you'll get a random message that'll say, I'm very sick, dear. Don't you love me anymore? Scammers do come back to previous victims. They keep all of your information. They have like a little diary where they keep every victim's information. They do come back. The best thing to do, and we've told people this before, just block. Keep blocking. Don't respond. Don't read their message. If you read their messages, they see that you've read them. It'll tell sent, read, whatever. Don't read them. Block them. Don't reply. Don't even reply and tell them F you. Don't reply and tell them you hate them. Don't even get a response because they thrive on those responses. Now, as far as getting over it, we hear this a lot from people that don't understand what it's like to be scammed. Being in a romance scam and then finding out you were scammed and then the relationship is lost. That relationship was very real to the victim. It was no different than if you were dating somebody in person and you had a very real relationship. And sometimes online relationships can be a little bit more personal than an in-person one because you're just talking all the time. You're not sitting having dinner together, you're talking. And so you share a lot of emotional, mental things. You talk about your problems, you talk about your work, you talk about your feelings. And I think dating online, even when you're dating a scammer, you're more emotionally attached to them rather than the physical part. And so when the relationship ends, it can be very painful and can be very real. And it is very real to the victim. You know what? Everybody's different. Everybody, you know, processes things different. It's the same as if, you know, you lose a loved one. Some people get over things quickly, some people mourn for years. But what we tell people, and Ann will back me up when I say this, is that you have to take the time for you. And if it takes you a year to get over it, then it takes you a year. There is no time limit. But don't allow the scammer to control your life long after you've been scammed. And I say this meaning, if you've been scammed and you're mourning the loss of the relationship, that's healthy, that's the way it should be. However, don't close your heart off, don't close your mind off to any future happiness you might find with a real person. When you do that, then you allow the scammer to still control you long after the scam is done. You know, everybody's different. Seeing a scammer's face is not going to make it any better. You know it's a scam. You know you've been scammed. You know, if you want to see scammers' faces, come to our album and look at the 40,000 photos we have of scammers. Your scammer probably looks similar to some of the scammers we have in our album. You know, it's a matter of time and getting over it, but it's also healing from it, but not healing from it in a way that you have closed your heart off to anybody else that may come your way. But there's no time limit. You will get over it. You will heal from it. And, you know, the sooner that you accept it and move forward, the sooner that you'll find your happiness. But the longer you don't accept it, the longer that you fight it, that's the longer that the scammer is controlling you, even after he's long gone. So, you know, take your time, but don't think about the scammer. Don't give him a moment more of your time. So that's kind of what I think of it. Anthony had a question. Why scammers start talking to you in their language and you refuse to send them money and gift cards? It depends. Sometimes they get mad and they want to see if you're a scammer too, so they'll say something like a Nigerian slang word. We all know the words. Just to see if they get a reaction out of you, to see if you'll actually respond to them in their language, and they think, oh, I've been wasting my time with a real person or with a real scammer. Sometimes they do it just because they're mad. Those of you, you know, if you speak different languages, when you get angry, you know, you start swearing in your native tongue. It's kind of similar. Some of them do it because they think you're stupid and you won't know what they're saying. I've been called a prostitute by Nigerians. I've been called all kinds of names when they find out I've been playing with them. I think it's just an anger thing, just to see what you'll say, or if you're one of them. Janet, have you heard of scammers that have a different stolen profile, but it is the same scammer? A different stolen profile, but it's the same scam. You mean, you basically mean like a scammer that has multiple fake profiles? Yeah. You know, sometimes what scammers do is a couple different things. Sometimes scammers use the same stolen photo and they create 3 or 4 different fake profiles with the same stolen photo. And then sometimes scammers will make 5 profiles with the same name and photo, and they're called backup profiles. It depends. But that also comes down to keep in mind and remember that, for example, Dr. Pinto is online and his fake name is Bob Smith, but then on another side he's Jim Johnson. It likely is not the same scammer. It's a different scammer using the same stolen photo. And I think some people get a little confused with that too. It's not one man with 100 fake profiles. It's 100 scammers using one man's photo. But yeah, scammers use multiple profiles. There's even scammers that will make a fake military profile and make fake military profile friends. And so they'll have Bob Smith as a fake military profile, and they'll have Jim Smith as his buddy, his partner in the war. And the other profile will talk to you saying, this man's so real, he's great, you know. So they play different characters as well. Rose, I haven't gotten over it, losing all my retirement money. It's hard. I mean, we've had victims who have lost their homes, their cars. They've gone to jail for money laundering and money muling with their accounts. You know, it's hard. It's a process. And, you know, some people don't ever recover from it. But, you know, at the same time, like I said, you have to stop giving the scammer your life and start living your life. Because the longer that you hold hate, the longer that you hold anger, resentment, it's toxic for you, and the scammer is still controlling you long after he's gone. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard to lose everything. I understand that. But like I said, everybody's different, and everyone takes their own time to mourn the loss of the relationship, and everyone takes their own time to heal from the emotional part of it and the financial. But, do you know of any scammers who married their victim and it worked out? No, I don't. Personally, I don't know anybody that has married their scammer and it worked out. We had a lady who shared her story, and I'm still working on making a video. It's a very long, like 10-year long story. I mean, 10 years worth of storytelling. She met a fake profile online. She was in love with him, and then she found out he was a Nigerian scammer. She went over to Nigeria, met him, married him, had children with him. He still continued to scam. He took everything she had. She ended up in jail for him. Um, and it turned into a nightmare, and she ended up homeless. She ended up back in America, back on the streets, and she had a horrible, horrible, horrible time. Um, I don't know of anyone who married a scammer and it worked out. A scammer is a scammer, and they're going to keep scamming even if they say to you, I'll never scam again. You're my first time I've ever done it. It's all crap. They're going to keep scamming. There's a lot of people that do in America and Australia. I have a friend in Australia who met a great guy from Ghana, and she married him, and they have a great life together. And he wasn't a scammer or anything, but there are people that meet people from different parts of the world and get married. But I don't know of anybody who married a scammer and it worked out. It's just not a good thing because they're going to keep doing it. Next question we have. Can you explain to me the deal with fake profile scammers sending a package? Why would they bother sending a package? It costs them money. We get this question a lot. So here's the deal. They don't actually send you a package. What it's called is a package scam. So you'll be talking to a man online or a woman, and she'll say or he'll say, hey, I sent you a box. It's got money, it's got Louis Vuitton shoes, it's got a Gucci bag, it's got earrings, it's got your engagement ring, and it's got all kinds of goodies. And it's for you, and I sent it. Then pretty soon what happens is a courier company or delivery company will contact you, or the airport security, and say, hey, this package is here for you, and you need to pay a tax. You need to pay a delivery fee. You need to pay a processing fee. The victim sends the money. End of scam. Scammers never actually sent you a package. It's called a package scam. They pretend to mail you a package. They'll give you a fake tracking number. They'll even show you a photo of the box. They'll show you a photo of all the goodies in the box. And then the courier company is the scammer as well, and they're pretending. They'll say, well, you need to send money to this agent to process your package. That's it. End of scam. So they never send you a package. It's a scam, and that's what they do. It's a package scam. Can we have some app to verify the photos different to Google Images? Yeah, you know what? We don't use Google Images very often because it's just really crappy. Like you can upload a photo of General Carterham, and it comes up with white hair, or it comes up with a stupid image. Tineye, I believe, has an app on the Google store. Tineye and Yandex Image Search. Yandex Image Search is a really good one to use. It's the one we've had the most success with. So there are several apps on Google Play, but check on the Play Store for Yandex Image Search or Tineye. There's also one called Photo Raider, Raider. It's an app online. You can use that, and it comes up with some decent search results. Google Images has kind of gone downhill in the last couple of years. So, my student got scammed last year. She met the guy online, but they never talked on video. The guy promised to give her money for the tuition fee, but one thing she could do to prove her love to him, just make a solo video for sex. Okay, well, sextortion scams, they happen a lot, and people freak out. This comes down to, I know you're in a relationship with somebody, and of course, people who are in online relationships do have sexual chat. It's normal when you're in a relationship, but never, 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 never send money, or excuse me, send a video or send photos of yourself naked. Just don't do it. If somebody's pushing you to do that, if they really love you and they want to be in a relationship with you, they'll wait till you meet them in person to do adult things. A lot of people get, sextortion scammed. A lot of guys get sextortion scammed too. It comes down to, Yes, you're an adult. Yes, you make your choices, but make them carefully. And I understand that, being in a long distance relationship can be difficult and you want to be intimate with the person you love, but meet them in person before you go sending those kind of videos and photos, and be careful about doing it because a lot of scammers do sextortion scam people and it happens all the time. Sheila, do any of you know Alex Fraser? Well, there's a lot of fakes with the name Alex Fraser and Fraser, which is a general, army general. People use his photos. If you have his profile link and you'd like to inbox it to us, you can, and we'll take a look and see if it's a fake profile. It probably is. A lot of people scammers use they use Fraser, they use General Odiono, they use Petraeus, they use Carterham, bunch of them. So it's probably a fake, but we're happy to take a look at it. If you want to click message at the top of the page, inbox it to us, we'll take a look for you. Next question we have, is there such a thing as a voice changer app to change your voice from female to male, and do scammers use this? Yes, there is. You know what the thing of it is? Back in the late 90s, there was a lot of voice changer devices you could put on your landline phone. Well, now, times have changed. There are apps online that can change your voice from male to female, female to male. Granted, they're not quality. I mean, they might have a little robotic tinge or a distortionist sound to it, but there are apps. There's apps that'll change your voice. There's apps that will also hide your accent. There's an app on the Google Play Store which is free to use. It's called American Accent app, or it's American, Make Me American, something like that. And if you speak into it, it will convert your voice into a American accent, and it sounds a little robotic and it sounds a little slow. So if you have an accent and you say, "My name is Bob Jones," it will convert your voice into a non-accented voice, but it'll go, "My name is Bob Jones." It's a little bit slow when it responds. Scammers do use that, and they do use voice changing apps to be male or female. It happens quite often. Some people can't tell the difference. Some people don't know to listen for a certain sound or a certain distortion or a certain robotic sound, and so they fall for it. It can happen. So what do? This comes down to, again, demanding a video chat, demanding they write your name on paper while you're on video, demand they hold the paper up next to their face while on video. A scammer cannot do that, and they won't do it. What do the scammers do with pictures you send them? Do they keep them on file and use them? Sometimes. If you're talking to somebody online, and let's say you sent them a couple photos of yourself, and here's my son, here's a photo of my son, they'll keep those photos, and they will use them. They'll use the photos of your children and claim they're their children, give them new names, and use them in other scams. Most scammers do keep photos of you. Some use them, some don't. Some will take them and put them next to their profile picture and make a photo of the two of you photoshopped together. But keep in mind that when you're talking to somebody online, and they're fake, and they're a scammer, the whole time you're talking to them, especially if you friend them, they're going to keep your profile link, they're going to keep your photos, they're going to keep the links of your friends, they're going to keep the things you like, they're going to keep your hometown information, your full name. If you gave them your phone number, they'll keep that, and they'll keep your email address. So let's say you're talking to a scammer, you gave them all of that information, and then you found out they were a scammer and you blocked them, they're going to go look for you again. So if your name is, Claire Johnson, and you talk to a scammer and you're from Minneapolis, and you block that scammer, they're going to look for you again and find you. They're going to type in your name, type in your city, look for your photos that they've seen before, or look for a photo of your dog that they've seen before, and they're going to come after you again. So they do. They do keep your photos. And we tell people, like, my photos have been stolen, Anne's photos have been stolen. The best thing you can do is run your photos that you've sent to a scammer through Google Images, through TinEye, through Yandex. See if they come up on a dating site. If they do, then you know that they're being used in a scam. And I mean, there's not much you can do about it, but at least you're aware that they're being used. So, this last question we have, I think I got one more after this, but this next question is kind of interesting, and it was asked the other day. Have you heard that people think Dr. Samadi is a scammer and have reported him to the medical board in New York? The victims have video chatted with him. How do you explain that if he's innocent? It's really easy. So Dr. Samadi, we all know Dr. Samadi. We know him as well as Dr. Pinto. His photos are stolen. His photos are used by scammers. Um, Dr. Samadi has a legit medical website for his practice. And at this website, he has videos of himself online. He has videos of his conferences. He has videos speaking about not being, oh, I'm losing my camera, not being scammed, and how he is the victim of a scam. And scammers do steal his photos. What has happened with those videos is scammers have actually stolen them, and they play them on video to victims. So they will go ahead and play that stolen video and say, "Here I am, dear, in my office." And Dr. Samadi has tons and tons of videos of himself in his office. And scammers have used those, and they're currently using them, and they play them for victims, and they say, "Hey, here I am." So nobody has really video chatted with Dr. Samadi from a dating site. What they have video chatted with is a stolen video. So he's not involved in the scams. He's a victim of identity theft by these scammers. If anyone tells you that they have, spoken to Dr. Samadi in video, you're definitely talking to somebody who spoke to them via a fake video feed. No one has spoken to Dr. Samadi on a dating app and had him write their name on paper and hold it up next to their face. They talked to a stolen video. So that's what's happening. People that report Dr. Samadi for being a scammer are stupid. He's not a scammer. He's a victim of photo theft. It'd be no different than, if your photos were stolen and someone used them, you wouldn't be a scammer. So it's the same theory. So just keep that in mind. He's not a scammer just as much as Dr. Pinto's not a scammer. They're victims, just like everybody else who's had their photos stolen. But yeah, the best thing to do is ignore and block. If you're being stalked by your scammer, just keep blocking. Sometimes it takes a while, but if you keep blocking, they will go away at some point. They're after money. They're not after anything else. So if they keep harassing you, just keep blocking them. Just keep blocking them. I had a scammer that... hang on. I had a scammer that wanted me to open a bank account in order for him to get his pay from work. Scammers do that. They want you to open a bank account because they want to use you as a money mule. They want to put other people's money in your bank account, fake checks, and now with online banking, you can do fake checks, do a snapshot with your phone and send it right to the account. It takes a while to bounce. So what happens is they deposit a $1,000 fake check into your bank via an online mobile app. They ask you to take that money out and send it to them. You do, and by the time the check bounces, that money's gone, and you're responsible for all the fees and the money. So never open a bank account for anybody online. Anybody that has a job or runs a company or a corporation, works on an oil rig, or is in the military can open a bank account. I have a job. I have a bank account. If I can have one, anybody can have one. It's really easy. Is it true that people working in the IBM in China are not allowed to use cam? The guy said he is a project manager in IBM. The camera in their device is restricted. No, it's a scam. Anyone can video chat. The president could video chat with you if he wanted to. People that say that they work for certain companies and say that they, can't video chat with you because it's secret or it's forbidden, it's a scammer. I've had friends that have worked in high-end security jobs. I actually had a neighbor that worked for the CIA one time in California, and he's able to video chat. So people that tell you that they can't video chat because of their company, they work for IBM, they work for the Secret Service, they work for the military, whatever, and they can't video chat, it's going to be a scammer. Everybody can video chat. I don't care who you are. You can video chat. And unless you're like 007, you can video chat. So if someone's telling you they can't, you're dealing with a scammer. Guys on oil rigs can video chat. People in the military can video chat. They're not forbidden. Nobody is forbidden from video chatting. So it's definitely a scammer. They're telling you that. Today I had a message, asked for a photo, and I said, send me your photo first, but I was very specific. They show your photo in it and show your finger ring. So my camera's broken, I cannot send on photo. Yeah, so that's another thing you can do. Scammers can Photoshop them holding a piece of paper and send you a photo. They can't Photoshop a video. But if you're talking to somebody online, and you can always ask them, you know what, send me a photo of yourself holding up 2 fingers above your head and make rabbit ears. anybody who's honest and who wants to, video chat with you and be in your a relationship with you or get to know you will send that kind of photo. A scammer will say they can't. So that's another good way. Instead of asking them if they don't want a video chat, which is a huge red flag. Let's say you just met. Tell them you want a photo of them holding up two fingers behind their head and make rabbit ears. And if they won't do it, it's a scammer. A lot of scammers, using fake profiles will say their phone is broken. They'll say that they're forbidden to take photos because of a secret work thing they're in. It's always going to be a scammer when they say things like that. So if you're talking to somebody online, they won't video chat or they won't make a specific photo. Like you can tell them, send me a photo of you sticking your tongue out and waving, your arm up in the air. If they won't do it, it's going to be a scammer. People who really, really, really want to know you will take the time to do what you want, as far as sending photos, as far as video chatting and things like that. So just remember that. So we have one more written in question, and if you guys have questions in the chat, I'll answer, and then we'll wrap this up for our July Q&A because 90 Day Fiancé is coming on in 15 minutes, and it's my favorite show. So the last question we had is an interesting one. Why would a fake profile ask me to look at homes for sale in my area? He said he was going to buy me a house. I did this and found home listings and sent them to him. He contacted the real estate officer and spoke to them as well on the phone. When it came time for the earnest money to be sent, he sent them a fake check and it bounced. Why take things this far? Has this happened before? It has. Scammers will do this. Really, really, really good scammers who are looking to get a lot of money will actually tell you, you know what, I'm going to buy you a house. I want you to look at homes in your area. And what they do, and we've had a couple of victims this has happened to, they've actually sent fake checks. And sometimes the checks bounce. And during that time, it's a way for them to grow trust with you. That, oh, they're real. I mean, a scammer wouldn't buy me a house. Sometimes what they do is they'll have you look at homes. We had one victim who did look at homes in, I believe, Florida. Found a $250,000 home. The scammer said, I'm going to buy this for you, honey. And when it came time, she set up everything. When it came time to get the money in for earnest money or for the deposit, whatever you want to call it, the guy had a crisis. And he said, well, honey, can you wire me some money so I can get this all sorted? And I need some money so I can get my money out. It was a big fiasco. She ended up sending the scammer like $10,000. And he said, I'm going to put $100,000 down on the house, but I need this money, whatever. And that's why they do it. Scammers that do that take things pretty far, and they're pretty professional at what they do. So if you're talking to somebody online, they want to buy you a house, make sure you meet them in person. People don't buy people houses. I could use a house. No one's buying me a house. So just remember that. Real people don't buy people extravagant, $250,000 homes. And if someone's legit and someone's real and they want to get to know you and they want to shower you with gifts and buy you a house, you say, great, come here and meet me in person, get to know me, meet me face to face. And if you want to buy me a house after that, fine. But yeah, scammers do that. They make up all kinds of excuses. They make up all kinds of stories. They play all different roles. So just remember that when you're talking to somebody online. And remember that no person is going to buy you things or pay your credit card bills for you. I mean, in all my life, I've been online since the mid-90s. No one has ever paid my bills or bought me a house. So if you guys want to, you're more than welcome to. But no one's going to do that. So just remember that if you're talking to somebody online and they want to do that for you. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them, and otherwise we'll wrap this Q&A up, and I'll post it to YouTube if you've missed the Q&A. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This has been kind of a good Q&A. I just wanted to keep it under an hour because my show's coming on. But if you guys have questions, you can always inbox, click message at the top of the page, inbox us. Ann and myself are happy to answer any questions you have, no matter what they are. And just, we're always here for you if you need help, and we work the page every day. We'll upload this to YouTube after it's done, and we're always here to help you, and we'll do another Q&A in August as well, and hopefully it won't be 5,000 degrees in my house. Becky, I had a scammer send me a bank account to deposit money. Can the bank identify that account? This guy supposedly works on a cargo ship for the United Nations. So it'll be probably a victim's account. Or it could be a fake bank account that they have you log into and look at and has lots of money in it. The United Nations cargo, any of that stuff is a red flag, and it's definitely a scam. So, um, no real people, have trouble with their bank accounts, especially people that work in prestigious jobs. Like I have a job; it's not prestigious by any means, but I have a bank account. So people that own businesses, work for the United Nations, are very wealthy, well-to-do business people. They have bank accounts. And to answer that one question, I don't know who asked it, but I just saw the ending of it. Yes, we are looking into doing interviews with victims. So we're trying to work something out where if you guys would like to, thanks, Sandy, if you guys would like to be interviewed by Ann or myself about your experience with a scammer, I know I narrate people's stories, but if you'd like to put your face out there and you'd like to do an interview, or if you'd just like to do an audio interview where you call in or I call you and we record the audio, we'd love to do that. We're looking into doing more victim stories where it's more interactive and the victims tell it in their own words rather than me just reading it. But some people want to stay anonymous. So if it's something you'd like to do, inbox us and we'll set up where I call you, or we'll do a video Skype chat, and I can record it and you can tell us in your own words your encounter with the scammer. And I've actually had a couple ladies say they want to do it, so we just have to work out the time to get this done. So I appreciate you guys and appreciate you guys. Thank you for everything that you do and keeping the page going, keeping our YouTube channel going. I personally apologize to you guys. I've gone back to work as of the end of June, so I haven't really had a whole lot of time to make a lot of our Betty videos. I haven't voice chatted with many scammers lately. I'm gonna hope to work on that soon. I've been working a lot because through COVID, I lost my job in March, and then I was out of work. It took me 5 weeks to get unemployment, and then I was offered a job, my old job back, uh, 10 hours a week, and I said I can't do 10 hours a week. I got to do 40, 50. And so I found another job, and I'm working as much as I can right now until that job ends. So, but I will make some more videos, and we will voice chat with scammers again. But thanks, guys, for writing in, and thanks for all your support. We appreciate you guys very, very much. Ann says hello and hopes you guys are doing well. So with that, I'm going to end our Q&A for July. Thanks, guys, for coming. I really appreciate it. We're going to try to do a Q&A on YouTube in the future as well. We did one last month or the month before, and it kind of went bad. We had a lot of negative people in there. But we will do another one for YouTube or for Facebook in August. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot. I hope you guys have a great night. If you're like me, you're going to watch 90 Day Fiancé. And we'll talk to you guys later. If you need help, you can inbox us, and we'll help you as soon as possible. Be safe. Keep your money to yourself. Don't give it to scammers and liars and people online, and don't give them your information. Thanks, everyone. Much love to all you guys. Stay healthy out there. Wear your mask if you want to stay healthy, and wash your hands. Hopefully the world will get better. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks again for coming. We'll see you next month. Bye.